That's brass on steel. And if it comes to brass on George, game on. Wait a second.
Jalen Brunson you're gonna get. Oh God!
What do you call this? Is this game 8?
Not tonight. Not in the Garden.
Yes, tonight in the Garden.
That's fair. You lucky. You broke his hand when you were there. You know. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. You don't want to see me again. You don't want to see me again. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Jalen, you guys were here last year. Tough loss to Indiana in the second round, 7 games. I know you guys were pretty banged up in that series too, but just what do you think of that team going into meeting them a second year in a row?
Yeah, man, it's going to be a tough opponent. They push the pace. They run on makes, misses, and it's going to be a huge communication series for us. We're going to have to be locked in on every possession. We're going to have to get back defensively. We can build off this game. I feel like our defensive transition, our communication was great today, and that's something that we can carry into that series. But different team. We just got to make sure we're prepared.
Tom, any early thoughts on Indiana and the problems that they pose and how they play and just the matchup in general?
And again, style of play, and they're an excellent basketball team, strong on both sides of the ball. Their ability to push the ball, so defensive transition. But when you look at their guard play, particularly with Halliburton, Nembhard, and McConnell, they can push and they can break you down off the dribble. So you got to be very disciplined in your approach. They can spread you out. Siakam and Turner are very talented bigs. So we understand what the challenge is.
Basketball fans, welcome back. So the New York Knicks are headed to the East Finals. After a 51-win season, they're able to upset the defending champions, the Boston Celtics, who had a successful 61-win season. But because of that injury bug that hit them when Jason Tatum, he went down with a torn Achilles. It stifled the Boston Celtics progression and subsequently led to the New York Knicks winning. So Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks are viewed reaching the Eastern Conference Finals as just another step in a season that's not over. And they came out, even looked like it's not time to celebrate because they made it to the East Finals for the first time in 25 years. So the home fans at the Madison Square Garden were out of control, and they were just celebrating this as if it was a championship win because it's been a long time since we've seen the New York Knicks in contention. Last time we saw the Knicks have a very good record was when Carmelo Anthony was there. That was in 2013. That's the most successful record that the most successful time the Knicks had in the Carmelo Anthony era. And in this Jalen Brunson era, the Knicks are just, they're exemplary. 51-win season, the 27 at home, and they're able to be the defending champions. Even despite, the whole situation with Jason Tatum tearing his Achilles, the New York Knicks faced the team that was there on the floor. And even in Game 5, you could see there was so much fight in the Boston Celtics, and they were very optimistic in their chances to at least make sure that they can hold the fort. But that wasn't the case. And the lack of, Jason Tatum's productivity, that's the main reason as to why the Knicks were able to steamroll the Celtics. Because at some points in the game, you could see the scoring, and it came to offense, they were very, very, it was very slow for the Celtics. And because JT was that guy who could be able to create his own shot and be able to be a reliable option in terms of scoring, it made it very difficult for the Celtics to be able to claw back. So the New York Knicks, reached the conference finals for the first time in 25 years and ended the one-year title reign of the Boston Celtics with ease, especially when they won that game in Game 6, 119-81. So This game happened on Friday night, but as by recording of this video, this game happened on Saturday morning where I'm at. So it is what it is. So on their way to their post-game presser Josh Hart and showed Michael Bridges a video of a fan climbing a pole outside the arena. So you could see there was so much, excitement, especially when it came to the celebration for the New York Knicks fan base. So Brunson and OG Anunoby each scored 23 points for the Knicks, and they will face the Indiana Pacers. And there's this video I've been seeing going viral. I've seen Tyrese Halliburton face up Jalen Brunson, and they're in the WWE ring, and it happened in the WWE. I mean, I love the WWE. I grew up watching the WWE, so that was epic sight to see. And I must say this, it looked like a script you just couldn't make it up. And the Knicks are just they're just on that level right now, and it's a make or break situation because they're in the second round last year, and they're not able to make it past the second round. But this one, they're able to break through. And the Knicks hadn't won a playoff series in their home floor since the 1999 East Finals. So the celebration started late on the one-sided first half and was sure to cut deep into the night around the arena. And we've seen fans go crazy. I've seen fans go crazy in sports, but the New York Knicks fan base, they're just on a different level. And Mikal Bridges, he scored 22 points. Karl Anthony Towns had 21 points for the Knicks, whose 38-point margin for the victory was the largest in a postseason game. So the Knicks were not playing around, and they made sure to dispatch the Celtics. Jaylen Brown, he had 20 points for the Celtics, and Jason Tatum's productivity was missed. And the Celtics didn't have the ability to be able to push it to 7 games, especially with the happenings of losing Jason Tatum. And that time they were trying to claw back and be able to regain home court advantage, but that wasn't the case. So this was something that was very sad. I mean, Boston coach Joe Mazzulla began pulling his starters in the third quarter after their deficit reached 41 points. And at some point, you could just see the Celtics just threw in the towel, and we saw guys who have never even played all season go ahead and play. So, I mean, Derek White even came out and said we didn't have the same team this year that we had last year, and every year it's a different team. We had a goal at the beginning of the year, and we fell short. So that was a tough one. It was like just you just look at a situation and you don't even know how to react. So the New York blew it open with a 13-3 run and made it 49-27, and a surge highlighted by a 6'1" Deuce McBride when he blocked White's shot that led to Hart's second straight basket while being fouled. So this one, when I watched it, I must say there was no chance that the Boston Celtics would be able to do anything in this game. And it was just, even when you see the starters getting pulled out of the game, in the game, that's when you know that the organization has really thrown the towel. They don't want to risk any more injuries because sometimes the star players can try to overexert themselves to the point where they don't want to lose another star. So they just go ahead and, do that thing where they play the bench players. So Ben Stiller and Lenny shared a handshake and hug afterwards the celebrity row where the A-list listers were there. I even saw Tracy Morgan there. So the last time I saw Tracy Morgan, he was puking on the floor. But the Knicks led 64-37 at halftime. And when I saw this start, I just knew for a fact that the Boston Celtics were out. And even I saw people chanting, the Madison Square Garden was very loud. So a 27-point lead that matched their biggest in a playoff game in the short clock era at the half. I mean, this one was this was tough. So the New York Knicks led the Lakers 69-42 in the Game 7 of the 1970 NBA Finals when Willis Reed, when he returned from injury and sparked the Knicks to the first NBA title. So you just remember those things. And also, don't forget, Josh Hart, he finished with 10 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists with his own triple-double there. So, I mean, this has been one interesting series, I must say. All the way from game one, you could see the way the Knicks were able to steal home court advantage from the Celtics. I just knew for a fact that this was going to be a very, very difficult game for the Celtics. And it's a tough one. I can say it's a tough one for the Celtics because the a few players who are, their contracts are going to be up, and the Celtics are going to be moving on to a different direction, especially with Jason Tatum being on ice because of that injury. He's going to be out for a majority of the next season, and even in this off season, he's trying to rehab. So we don't know who's going to be brought back from in the Celtics. So I mean the Boston Celtics, I don't want to write them off that quickly because a lot of times when these things happen, when a team gets knocked out in the postseason in the second round, even we saw it with the Cavs. I mean, the media just goes ahead and writes them off. But I'm not writing off the Celtics like that because I feel like they have what it takes to go ahead and do something, spectacular. They can try to retain some players that they had in that championship run that are still in the roster right now. But under like the new CBA, I don't think the Celtics will have enough money to retain majority of those players because some of these players in the Celtics roster will want to get paid, and with the salary cap the way it is, it's going to be quite difficult to be able to retain these players. So, I mean, this has been a great series, and the East Finals will be fireworks. So we're still waiting on the OKC Thunder and Denver Nuggets Game 7 to determine who's going to face the Minnesota Timberwolves, who already made it there. But the Knicks versus Pacers series will most likely play out 7 games. I don't think this is going to be that series where it's going to be lopsided at all because the Knicks and Pacers have been that team. And the interesting thing is, one of those teams is going to make it to the NBA Finals, and they're going to go deep in the postseason play in June. So I am just excited. I don't know, man. I mean, this has been I know the West has been fireworks, but also the East has been a bit of fireworks, especially in the second round. And the Western Conference, all the fireworks started all the way at the beginning of the first round. In the first round, that's where the madness happened. But all in all, Knicks and Pacers for the NBA Finals is excellent, especially with that whole build-up when we saw Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton in the WWE. I've been rewatching that clip so many times to the point where I feel like it's something that was bound to happen. Even in that video, I saw Tyrese Halliburton said, "I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna come back here." So I mean, I'm waiting for that one. So it is what it is. So do drop me your comments down in the comments section what you think about this. I mean, this postseason has been fire. I've been enjoying every single minute of it, especially like those teams that you don't expect. Sometimes some postseasons look like they're like snooze fests, but the Knicks have never been, I've never been a team in the postseason that can disappoint you like that because they always have something up their sleeve. And also the Pacers. So, like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get notified, and I'm out. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Yeah, I think Josh showed me a video walking here, guys climbing up light poles and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy, man. But great for them, happy for them. Obviously I'm new here, but just know how much New York loves their sports, and especially the Knicks. So just so excited to be a part of it. And I mean, they enjoy it for us right now, but obviously we got way more to go. But happy for them.
That's who he is. It's like he impacts the game a lot of different ways. That sometimes people get stuck on, well, he didn't shoot the ball or he didn't do this. Well, Josh, what he is a basketball player. So it's transition, it's the pace, it's playing out of the pocket, it's making corner threes, it's doing all those dribble handoff, hustle plays, offensive rebounds, and then defensively just being everywhere and then coming up with big rebounds. And I think when you play with that kind of effort, it's inspiring to the team.
It's great to be back home to do this. It's special, man. All my brothers back in Jersey and stuff, I know they calling me going crazy, so I can't wait.
take time, sit back and kind of figure it out. But, I'm excited. Things didn't go your way this year. Things didn't go our way this year. And it's unfortunate, but, we hold our head up regardless. Losing to the Knicks, feels like death. But, I was always taught that there's life after death. So we'll get ready for whatever's next in the journey. I'll be ready for.
So for any of you, I know you talk about looking at the videos of what the fans are like outside, but it didn't look like a crazy celebration for you guys on the court today. Is that because this is a part of like a stepping stone, or?
Yeah, we just more to go. We're not done. That's what it is. And we came out there tonight and play hard, handle business. But like I said, our season's not over. We got so much more to go, and I think we play on Wednesday. So get ready, prepare for them. Whole different team, and yeah, just a whole new series.
I mean, you got to tip your hat off to the Knicks. I mean, they outplayed us. They played better. I'm happy for Tibbs. He's been coaching for a long time. To me, that's the biggest thing. Is you pay your dues, you put forth everything. That guy's a lifer, man. He's everything a coach is all about, and he deserves it. So I think it's more about that, and they deserve it as a team, and you got to tip your hat off to them.
How much of a part of a game like this is the managing of the emotions that come with the opportunity to close out a team like this particularly?
Yeah, and I think that's what the playoffs are. There's a lot of emotional highs and lows, and you got to deal with those things. And I think it's important to be disciplined, right? I think the discipline gets you past any distractions. You got to play with toughness, but each game you have to reset and then be ready for that game. What's going to go into winning this game? So there's no carryover from the previous game. There's no looking ahead. You have to lock into exactly what's in front of you.
The whole somewhat were not pleased with the intensity levels and everything that happened in Game 5, and then tonight it just seemed like it was the exact opposite sort of energy from you guys. Where do you feel like that came from? Why do you feel like it was such an obvious swing?
Just the way the whole day of Game 5 just wasn't us. And we knew that. We reflected on it, and we came back. We knew that we needed to be ready, needed to be better. The way we prepared, the way we talked out there, the way we made it an emphasis to have each other's back and continue to cover for each other. It's focused on the defensive side of the ball, and when we're doing that, offense, we're flowing. And so we just got to focus on the little things, and we did that.
For you, obviously you guys are the first group to do something that no Knicks team has done in 25 years. I know you guys play to win championships, but could you feel how important a win like this was in this building to the people that have been here longer than you guys have and that ride?
Yeah, it was definitely felt the energy. The way they've been supporting us all year, it's been remarkable. So I'm just really happy that we were able to do that.
To me, it's not about our guys. They did everything they could. You got to tip your hats off to the Knicks. They played a great series. They've been great all year. Tibbs is a great coach, so you got to tip your hat off to them.
You guys were a pretty heavy underdog. Do you feel like this is an upset? And what is, I guess, to beat the defending champs, to send them home, what does this do confidence-wise for you guys moving forward?
Upset or not, whatever it is, we beat a great team. They obviously lost a huge piece, but regardless, the way they came out in Game 5, they knew that, they're still a great team. And so regardless of whatever anyone thinks, upset or not, we're just happy to come out the series with a win, and we're moving on. We got to prepare for another team.
Kat, I'm curious if you, during this 6-game series, if you feel like you learned anything about the group that you guys have, maybe something you wanted to see from the group that maybe it confirmed, or something that presented itself that you didn't expect during the series.
I wouldn't say not expect, but when you're in these situations, especially in the playoffs, you got to we talk about that, you know, that New York grit, that unrelentless belief that we will never lose. And I think that this series, you know, when you want to go deeper into the playoffs, you have to have that, and we showed it this series. And I think that was really special for us. You know, in the last series, we showed, you know, we're able to finish games in the fourth quarter, and even the close games we'll find a way to win. But this series was different because we had ourselves in deficits that were, you know, 20 plus, and we still found a way to win. And that's a testament to these guys, you know, never not believing that we're going to win a game, regardless of how the game is going, and regardless of the ebbs and flows of a playoff series or a game. This team has tremendous belief in each other, and we believe that anytime we step on the court, we have a chance to win.
On the way. On the way. Guys, keep staying together.
Oh my God, he's all the way up.
Tarzan!
Oh my God.